Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my channel where I'll be reviewing action figures from different manufacturers. Today we're going to be having a look at another G.I. Joe classified series. As this is the winter period before Christmas, I'm going to be doing the review of the three figures who are mostly adapted for the snow. So today it's going to be the review of the deluxe Snow Job figure. This is number 67 in the G.I. Joe line. This figure came out in 2023. Suggested retail price for it is €34.99 and €42.99 euros. This figure was exclusively sold on Hasbro Pulse. That makes it a pretty interesting figure. Now we're going to spin the box. Of course, this is the box I opened because it was damaged. So as you can see, this is number 67 in the G.I. Joe line. You have the presentation of what do you get in the box. And this is mostly it for the box. Not going to go into too much details. I'm not a fan of these boxes. And I'll be making a video regarding these boxes at a later date, so to say which ones are my favorite boxes. Now let's see what we get in this box. Also, we're going to dive in the history of this guy, and also what are my thoughts about this figure, and is it a collectible item? So, of course, we're going to go into the history of this figure. So this is my mint in box figure of Snow Job, and this is my mint in box, one of the mint in box figures that I have from the 25th anniversary version of Snow Job. Now, this figure came out in 1983. And was an interesting figure. Now, it also came out in the Action Force line. Something was really funny because the guy's from Perth in Scotland. I did not find him as a kid, so that figure was missing. It was not re-edited afterwards at a later date in the G.I. Joe line that came out in Europe, sadly. So that's a bit of a shame that we didn't get him. So as you can see, this guy did get a bit of aging problems, as you can see, because there's some yellowing parts. So this yellowing parts or browning parts on it, as you can see it on the skis, you can see it on his leg, his crotch, and also one of his arms. The rest of it is perfectly white. As you can see, the backpack is white. Everything looks pretty decent, but those things are things that have a tendency of happening due to the fact that there was some problem with the water paint that they used for this figure. So this is why the mix of paint with the water, the white colors have a tendency of going yellow. I think I read that a little while ago, a few years back, they were talking about that problem. Now, if we take a look at the 25th anniversary line, I'm a huge fan of the 25th anniversary lines. I think that they did some pretty neat details on the figure that, of course, they did not have the technology in 1983 to do it. But as you can see, you do have a lot of cool gear that comes with it. It's even a bit more detailed than this one because you have, of course, the laser rifle. You have also on the side the ski poles. He has a pistol, a revolver, backpack, the skis, and something that is cruelly missing that all the figures had in the 25th anniversary line is a figure stand that should be generally with every figure and not only on the retro line figures. So that's it for the history of this guy. Let's dive into what we have in this deluxe box from Hasbro. So again, the fact that this is Hasbro figure that is a deluxe one, we're going to get a lot of gear. Of course, we get our figure with goggles, extra head sculpt, the hood up, we get the backpack, we get the sniper rifle, we get, of course, the skis, ski poles, snow rackets, and of course a pistol. So due to the fact that it's a deluxe figure, you do get a lot of gear. Now let's have a closer look at his head sculpt. As you can see, they did a pretty good job. The head is a bit bigger than the regular figures that they have released. So it is a bit tricky if you want to put it on another body, if you want to take him out of his winter gear suit. It does look a bit weird. So of course you should remove the head. As simple as this. This comes off very simply because this is the version with the hood down, and if you want to have the hood up, you can put it on over here, and you have the choice of leaving him with this head sculpt or with the other head sculpt. Now, the other head sculpt looks not too bad either, and it does make his head a lot smaller due to the fact that his hair is kind of disappeared. As you can see, there's no way that this little hood is going to be able to hide all that hair under there, but that's the magic of these figures. It's the same thing with Andrew Garfield and Spider-Man. When you see this haircut and you're like, yeah, there's no way that he's going to put the spider mask on and it's not going to show. So as you can see, this head sculpt is a little bit smaller and is a bit more into shape, but sadly you cannot reuse it on the other figures due to the fact that it has this winter aspect to it and it would look weird on a figure. Now, the easiest way to put this head sculpt on, if you want, is to not put this over here due to the fact that you have the goggles, so that makes it pretty hard to put. So if you put the goggles on, you should put them on like this. As you can see, they have a nice shiny effect on it, so don't go too much over. Have the head like this, and the easiest way that I found to put this into here is by sliding the figure in this way, and you slide it in as simple as this, and it fits pretty nice. Then you need to take your figure here and you clips it in, and book, you hear the little crack, and your figure looks pretty neat and looks like the one that came out in 1983. So of course we're going to be looking more at these other accessories now. Of course you have a pretty neat backpack with a hose for the to put your sniper rifle in. You have some little hooks over here for the straps, was a nice addition for you to be able to strap on the skis. Now, I'm not convinced on the aging of these parts, because I guess this after a while may become a bit drier with all this plastic and may break. So that's something you may want to be careful of. I don't think that popping them in and out like this is going to be the best way to do it, because I guess you might run into some problems. Of course, like the previous version from 1983, you can put on the ski poles over here. Of course, you have this part over here for his rackets also to be hooked up over here, so this all fits on over here. I'm not going to strap on the other thing. The other part, as I said, is pretty neat because you can slide the sniper rifle in the backpack. So this is the way that you have to put it in, because if you don't, it will not fit in properly. If you put it on this way, you need to really turn it and put it in this way, and then it fits perfectly. Now we're going to be looking at this pistol. It's a bit weird as a pistol, but works because the holster is a bit deeper. So if you put the pistol in here, it does have a tendency sometimes of coming out. So we have to be careful when you put this figure. If you're not keeping him or you put him in storage, take a small bag, put it out, because that has a tendency of coming out. So to put the backpack on, it's very simple. You should put it on, and as you can see, it gives you a pretty nice figure and pretty well detailed figure with a lot of gear. So now that we had a look at the figure, let's talk about the collectible point of view of this figure and what are my final thoughts and my note on this figure. So on the collectible part of this figure, there's something very interesting to know about this figure. It is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. The fact that it's sold out in the US puts it as a more expensive figure. I'm surprised he is still available on the European website of Hasbro Pulse. So if you have some friends in Europe, you could try to pick it up, but I'm not really convinced that you're going to pay it a lot cheaper when you finish adding the shipping costs back to the US, the taxes and the other stuff. You might be ending paying up a bit more. So yes, this figure is a collectible figure. Now, of course, you could say, well, John, what about the retro line? Well, as you could see, if you saw my review for the Snow Serpent, you're going to be able to see that the Snow Serpent does have a lot of gear missing, and this is going to be the same case for this guy over here, because he's going to have some missing gear due to the fact that there's not enough room to put all of this in. So I guess there's going to be maybe a head sculpt less. There's going to be a few other things that are going to be missing. So that's why I would suggest, if you can find him, go for this version. Do not wait for the retro line, because there's no way that Hasbro is going to be putting in so much stuff in the retro line packaging. Now, what are my final thoughts about this figure, and what is my note out of 10 for this figure? Now, for me, this figure is going to be a 8 out of 10. As I said in my previous video regarding the Snow Serpent, I think Hasbro is giving a lot of love to our Cobras, but not enough love to G.I. Joe. Now, as you can see, this is the same price, and when you see the quantity of gear that you're getting with the Snow Serpent, I do agree that you have an extra head sculpt that is maybe a bit more costly to make, but I mean, come on, Hasbro. I mean, you're giving this guy a sniper rifle. Why don't you give him the laser rifle? You did make it for Grunt. You've been giving it out to Scarlet Retro. You've been using it, and you're going to still be using it. You could have given him that extra laser rifle, who would have been a nice addition to it, instead of giving him only the sniper rifle. Also, why not give him a knife? Because I haven't found him, but if you go and check it out, there's another version of Snow Job who came out in the Pursuit of Cobra, and that guy's got a ton of gear on, and that makes this figure a lot more interesting. And I mean, for something that came out in 2023, seeing that you could do it for the Pursuit of Cobra, the figure that did not even appear in the movie, you could have done a lot more better with this figure. So this is why I'm going out of 8 out of 10. The figure is great, don't get me wrong, but I think that Hasbro should have done a little bit more for the G.I. Joe. Give a bit more love to G.I. Joe, not only Cobra, even if I do like Cobra, but I think you should have done a little bit more for this. So that's going to be it for my review of Snow Job. If you like this, please leave a like, share, comment in the section, subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. And I hope you go and check out the pictures. You're going to see some quick pictures of me playing around with my Snow Job in the snow. So you can go and check that on my Instagram page or on my Facebook page. The links are in the description. So I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye!